Yes, good morning, brothers and sisters. Once again, happy Sabbath to each one of you. And it's a blessing to gather together again on this holy day that the Lord has set apart for rest, reflection, and communion with Him. As we welcome the Sabbath hours, we are reminded that this is not just another day, it is a sacred appointment with our Creator, a time to lay aside the cares of the world and draw closer to Him. The Bible tells us in Isaiah 58:13 to 14 that if we turn away from our own pleasure on this holy day and delight ourselves in the Lord, He will cause us to ride upon the high places of the earth. Today, we are here not merely out of habit, but because we desire that deeper experience with God. We are glad that you have chosen to worship with us this morning, and may you feel the presence of the Lord in a special way. And as we begin our devotional, let us open our hearts to the message, the songs, and the prayers, and let us set aside distractions and allow the Spirit of God to speak to us. Our speaker this morning is Brother Robert Aitkins. But before that, we will have our opening hymn and an opening prayer to be led by Brother Aldri. May we listen to the message and may the Spirit of God fill our hearts and minds. And let us now turn to our opening song.
Let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you for guiding us throughout the night. Thank you for waking us up again this early morning and for giving us another opportunity to be hearing and studying your word. Please bless the speaker. Please help them impart the message that you'd like us to receive. And bless us as well. Bless us with your with understanding so that we may fully comprehend and understand the lessons that you would like us to learn. Please continue to guide bless us throughout the rest of this day. Help us have a happy Holy Blessed Sabbath. And bless those around us as well and the people who are not with us. Thank you for always hearing and answering our prayers. In Jesus we pray, amen.
Good morning. Good morning to all. Welcome to our morning devotional. Ali, are you presenting a script or a screen? Yes, so good morning again. Our devotional comes from By Faith I Live by Ellen G. White. Excuse me. And it's titled today, My Guide and Pilot. Our key verse today is, I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with my eye. Psalms 32:8. Often the Christian's life is beset with dangers and duty seems hard to perform. The imagination pictures impending ruin before and bondage and death behind. Yet the voice of God speaks clearly, go forward. Faith looks beyond the difficulties and lays hold of the unseen, even the omnipotence. Therefore, it cannot be baffled. Faith is the clasping of the hand of Christ in every emergency. And it's worth noting that another word for faith is trust. And in reflection, our devotional for this quarter is based on the faith I live. So trust and faith is essential to every emergency. Every ship sailing the sea of life needs to have the divine pilot on board. But when storms arise, when tempests threaten, many persons push their pilot aside or overboard and commit their bark or ship into the hand of finite man and try to steer it themselves. Then disaster and wreckage generally follow, and the pilot is blamed for running them into such dangerous waters. Do not commit yourselves into the keeping of men, but say, the Lord is my helper. I will seek his counsel. I will be a doer of his will. It is as impossible for us to receive qualification from man without the divine enlightenment as it was for the gods of Egypt to deliver those who trusted in them. So it's talking about the heathen who were trusting in the gods of stone and wood. Do not trust yourself to men. Act under the divine guide. You have been chosen by Christ. You have been redeemed by the precious blood of the Lamb. Plead before God the efficacy of this blood. Say unto him, I am thine by creation, I am thine by redemption. I respect human authority and the advice of my brethren, but I cannot depend wholly upon them. I want thee, O God, to teach me. I have covenanted, I have agreement with you to adopt the divine standard of character and make you my counselor and guide, and a party to every plan of my life. Therefore teach me. Let the glory of the Lord be your first consideration. Let every act of your life be sanctified by a holy endeavour to do the Lord's will, that your influence may not lead others into forbidden paths. I'll just continue with some thoughts. The question is, who can we depend upon with the many difficult decisions in life? Would we listen to others who have more superior knowledge than us? Can we afford to listen long enough to be swayed into another person's viewpoint or ideology? There is much danger in listening to any advice being freely offered, considering that we already have a ready helper promised by the Spirit who says, I will guide you into all truth. Ellen White has some comments on this subject. The first one is, commit every plan to God. Do not take your case out of the Lord's hands. Commit your ways to Him. Decisions are not to be made independently, they are to be placed before God for direction. For God's assistance, we first need to surrender the will. The whole heart, she says, must be yielded to God, or the change can never be wrought in us for God to help us. True guidance comes when the will is yielded or surrendered, not merely when advice is sought. So the dependence upon God. Another point is distrust self. We are not to trust in our own wisdom, but in the living God. Your own judgment is not to be depended on unless it is under the control of God. Human reasoning alone is insufficient. Self-confidence can mislead. And before deciding or committing to a way, take your heart to the Lord in prayer. Ask Him to guide you in every perplexity. When perplexities arise, wait patiently. Don't rush, trustfully. Go to your God. We are to pause and seek divine counsel. Another point is follow providence and God's providence and His word. God speaks to us through His providences of life and through the influence of His Spirit upon the heart. And I'd just like to finish on a story of a ship without a compass. A sailor constantly adjusted his course based on nearby ships rather than using his own compass. In calm seas, it seemed harmless. But when the fog settled in, when ships drifted off course, he then followed them until he found himself far from his destination. So the question for us today is, are we sometimes like a ship drifting without a pilot? It doesn't need to be this way because we already have a guide, a pilot, and that's the establishment of our faith. This is our devotional. Good morning and blessings to all.
Yes, truly, our devotional this morning is teaching us to trust our Savior fully instead of trusting ourselves. So, Christ is our all sufficient guide who promises to lead us in every step of life. And even when the path is difficult and uncertain, faith moves forward by holding on to Him and trusting His unseen power. We must not rely fully on human wisdom or take control during trials, but continually depend on Christ as our divine pilot. Because we belong to Him by creation and redemption, we can confidently seek His guidance in every decision. When we make God our counselor in all things and live to do His will, our lives will reflect His character and lead others in the right path. So that's all for our devotional this morning. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We will now proceed to our closing hymn and a closing prayer to be led by our speaker.
Let's pray. The Father in heaven, thank you, Lord, for the Sabbath day. We appreciate the blessings of the past week, and we thank you that we have come through to worship you and to thank you for your many blessings. And yet we ask that you help us understand the message that we have today. We know we are born in a world that's fraught with difficulties, and we're brought up and survive in our own ways, and we're left to our own resources sometimes to fix our problems and to view the many failures in life. But Lord, we see many disillusioned people in life, even questioning about how their lives might be directed. But we also see many lives wasted and wrecked because they put their focus away from your guidance, from truth. Lord, help us today and day to day to depend upon greater wisdom than just ourselves. And we know that we can be led through treacherous times, treacherous events, and difficult decisions, because like the patriarchs of Old Testament, we also can trust in divine guidance. Lord, we often rush our decisions thinking they are of little consequence to our life. But in the spiritual realm, we know our decisions weigh far more and could, if we depend upon our own guidance and wisdom, lead us away from your kingdom. We know that we have spiritual battles to face, especially in these last times. And Satan will tempt us to the very last of our abilities. But we put our trust in you and ask for your keeping and ask you directly for the answers for the trials in our life from you. Thank you, Lord, for your presence in our past. And we ask that today we are blessed as we co-work with you, as we worship with you, and we present our lives before you for a blessing in all things. Thank you, Lord, again for the Sabbath and the blessings that come as we study your word. We ask these things this day in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining us, and we'd like to invite you to our bi-monthly international fellowship that will begin at 8 o'clock in the morning. See you, everyone, and God bless us all. May we all have a blessed and holy, happy Sabbath.